Hello everybody, my name is Mike Langford. Welcome back to Let's Mix Live, where I live stream some mix sessions using Pro Tools start to finish to show you some production techniques to hopefully help make your music sound better. Laptop was still on there. We are working on a song called Dune Rider. Band is called Impossible Colors with a U. If you're Canadian or British, you'll get the joke. Liking this, it's a psychedelic rock track. Pretty cool. Having trouble with the drums on it, but we're going to get there. This is part 4 so far, working through this. Where do I get these tracks from? There's a website called Cambridge Music Technology. They have a bunch of multi-tracks up on there. A bunch of different genres, from folk all the way to metal. Highly recommend checking that out. Link below in the description if you're watching on YouTube. Again, highly recommend that if you're a new mixer or old mixer, and especially too for an engineer. If you're curious about some of the sounds people are working with to get the sounds in their mix, it's a fantastic resource. So again, the website, Cambridge Music Technology. Check it out. Let's hop into Pro Tools. Gotta get going today. No reason. Reason being, NHL playoffs starting. Reason being, Game 1, Maple Leafs versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. You know, it's only the defending Stanley Cup champions the last 2 seasons. No big deal. All right, all I've done since last time here, I'm going to go ahead and do this before I forget. I have a hotkey for this. I'll show you how to do that sometime if you ask. Mix Prep 6. We're still mix prepping on this. Don's here. Don's saying, hey, you know it's game night. I do know. They start at 7:30. I have Game Center off to the side here. I'm planning on being done around 10:30 or 8:30 or 8:45, so I can possibly not watch. For anyone who's paying attention to my hockey watching, I can not watch the second and third period. Trying to cram everything into the night. How you doing, Don? All I've done so far, just renamed the save session here, brought our 1 kilohertz test tone in. It's the time for the disclaimer. Be mindful of your listening levels at home. If you're using, when I'm EQing, I'm sometimes sweeping around frequencies. So be mindful of your listening levels on your headphones, your speakers, your studio monitors, or your line array PA system in your basement. You know who you are. So without further ado, let's have a quick test here. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that sounds good. I love it. Looks good on my end. Hit stop on that. I can just highlight those and make those inactive. Only other thing I've done, I made a quick edit on the vocals. My assistant didn't vet the lyrics before we started this track. So I made a quick edit on the vocals. I did load those back into Melodyne, so they are here because today's plan is to start prepping the vocals. We've been spending a lot of time prepping the drums to getting a sound for that together. It's been a bit of a thing with the drums in this one. So hopefully I listen now and I'm like feeling a bit better about it. It was just feeling a little bit samply, but it's just something about the way the snare drum was and also the boinginess of the cymbals. That's my best way of describing it with and I want to say, that's my little USB speaker. There's something about like really heavy old cymbals. They have like a boinginess to them, to me, and it bothers me. For my preferences of cymbals, I've been known to dabble on the drums once in a while. AXs and Zildjian A Customs. Those are my 2 favorite cymbals for recording. I think they work on pretty much everything. Drummers can say their piece down below. All I know is, what is it? Sabian B8s, those are bad, and Zildjian ZBTs, those are bad too. I know they're entry-level cymbals, and if Sabian or Zildjian want to send a message to me about that, how they feel about that, they know what they are. They know what they sound like. Sharon, how's it going? Join us on Facebook. So we're going to have a listen through, not all the way to the end, not all the way through maybe the little bit of the solo section and a little bit of the no, not even the outro. We're just going to go over to here. Just the first 2 minutes of the 6-minute-ish track here. So once again, this is Dune Rider by Impossible Colors with a U. I'm allowed to talk over this one too because we've listened to this a few times already. So my goal today, vocals tuned, mix bus, and a vocal sound. Snare's not bugging me today. Toms sound good. It's not bugging me overall right now. Maybe it's just the overheads. Bring those down too. Who knows? Don says it sounded pretty good. Yeah, it sounded better to me this time. Sometimes it's fresh ears, fresh perspective. Also, there's no back bust going on for the drums right now. I'm seeing how much I can just kind of ride that. I'm buying that. We don't have a lot of effects on our drums either. I'm liking that. That's the hands of time, that type of reverb. Everyone loves that. If you don't love that and you're on YouTube, just type "don't love it." I usually set my reverb tails off of my snare cymbals, sorry, my snare drums and stuff. Gonna throw EQ on that. Just bring the point down. Like I want a kind of a woolly sounding, kick drum. Sounded pretty good. Okay. I don't want to say I'm not hating it, because I think it's better than that right now, but it's coming together. I think it's my show, so I can say that. Let's look at the vocals here, because there's definitely some stuff in the vocals. I don't think they are copied and pasted, aka flown, but there's a quick way we can check that. I'll just go. This is not to a grid either, so this isn't going to work perfectly. But I'll just kind of go here. I'll just kind of grab that. And if we go, so how far back are we with that? 6 beats. We'll just see what happens over here. So we'll go back a few beats. Again, it's not too grid, and there's some timing things on this song too. So even just looking at those, we can say like that's not flown. Even these two, they're not flown. Just looking at the waveforms, they're different enough. So tune all of that, which is fine. So let's bring up our lead vocals here. Don say I love that. You loving the reverb? Reverb and effects are just fun. It's one of those things with some bands. Because like I'm all for people trying stuff, especially when it comes to reverbs and delays and delay throws and modulation effects and stuff like that. But I like that stuff. And it's funny how like bands will be like, oh, this is awesome, that's awesome, that's awesome. And then you do some of that stuff on their music and they're like, oh, it's a bit weird. Can we dial it back a bit? It's like, we can, but it's cool. We could try it, but whatever. It's your band. It's cool though. Sometimes too, they don't even notice some of the effects that are going on, or just changes like from part to part for songs. They don't even notice what's going on until someone points it out to them. So that's fine. We all learn at our own pace. I really hope the Leafs win it in 6. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not hoping for a sweep or anything like that. I'm not hoping. Don't go down 3-0 and try to claw back. I don't want to see that either. But yeah, Leafs in 6 would be good. All right, so I did load all the vocals in last time, and they are still here. Sometimes with Melodyne, I do highly recommend if you're using Melodyne, just tune it that day, because sometimes you'll come back to your session and Melodyne and be like, we don't know where any of the audio files are that specifically go into this one specific folder and are specifically used just for this specific song that you loaded them into. So I recommend just like dump it in and then load it up, because I usually listen through the song anyways. Just going to check the rest of these. No, don't do that. Just because I listened through most of the song again anyways, I was like, oh, okay, if it loses its connection or whatever it is, then I'll just load it back in again. No big deal. Don saying, just praying they win tonight's game. One game at a time. One game at a time. One day at a time. That's all it gets down to. All right, let's have a listen here. Made a little edit there. Does Tom sound awesome? Now, I'm not sure if there's anything else in the vocals. I just caught the one off the top. I was thinking about that because I try to keep it all PG-13 around here on the show. Also because Facebook and YouTube track every single word you say, and that depends on your reach you get for your broadcast. But I've decided, like, if I'm going to use songs, I'm either just going to make the edit beforehand, or I'll just figure it around it. Or if the song doesn't make any sense, I might not know. But it's made a quick little edit that just took one word out. Fill that word in, whatever you like. Okay, so setting up for Melodyne for me. I have it loaded in right now. Insertion follows playback. This button right here, it's also N on your keypad as long as you have edit keyboard focus engaged over here. I really probably sound like I know what I'm doing right now. As long as edit keyboard focus is engaged, and then I use insertion follows playback. This so when we're following our timeline here, wherever you hit stop is where the timeline is going to be. So this is the only time that I use this N key. It's like the worst, because for when I was starting on Pro Tools, no one knew what this button did. And then someone figured it out around the building, and everyone was like, we know what the problem is, because it's right above the space bar, which is start and stop. So that was there. But anyways, I use the insertion follows playback, and then also put a bit of pre-roll on it. And that way I can just kind of scrub through the song, and this helps me get through songs a lot quicker. So our vocals are not super loud here. So it's a little bit different. I probably should have boosted the levels on these a little bit before we started, but whatevs, be fine. I have a trackball style mouse too. That's how I'm able to switch around all quickly here. Don says, LOL, make it reverse. We're good. We're good. All right, let me get going on this. Now, it's one of those things where maybe they wanted to sing all that stuff flat, but I look at this one, it's still flat. That's all flat. So maybe that's what they wanted to do. So we'll go with that. Pro Tools. There it goes. It really bothers me that it's down to half step, so I'm just gonna not let it be down to half step. I like the third phrase down a half, the little half there. That's cool.
Within your mind to read, within your mind to read outside.
I can buy that. So the first two, we'll put those up because my music brain's like, that should be up there. Third one can come down and the fourth phrase is different. I like that. I signed that band. Sign that band.
Suck my kiss and sniff my it's all for you. All for you.
A little flat.
All for you. Hear my words and close your mind, it's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading in your sofa, reading in your sofa, reading in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind to read outside.
I can buy that. We'll go to the next chunk here.
Do your deeds of selfish love in Father's name.
Buy that.
Lead my mind and read my lead my mind and read lead my mind and read lead my mind and lead my mind and read my lies. It's just a read my lies. It's just and read my lies. It's just a game.
That one down.
Allah, Buddha, Mohammed, Jesus, Buddha, Mohammed, Jesus, we're just the same. Allah, Buddha, Mohammed, Buddha, Mohammed, Jesus, Buddha, Mohammed, Buddha, Mohammed, Jesus, we're just the same. Eat my words and kill yourself. My words and kill yourself. It's just and kill yourself. It's just and kill yourself. It's just a game.
I can buy that too. That might be it on the lead vocals.
Do your deeds of selfish love in Father's name. Lead my mind and read my lies. It's just a game. Allah, Buddha, Mohammed, Jesus, we're just the same. Eat my words and kill yourself. It's just a game.
Done saying it's funny how those couple of naughty words are just in the beginning. I don't think they're repeated. They're not repeated, but it's funny because it's not even cuss words. It's like a thought. So it's one of those things where it's different. It's not even a sentence enhancer. It's like a statement. So way she is sometimes. Don says, aren't the verses usually repeated in the song? Sometimes the choruses are usually repeated. But usually the second verse is different than the first to kind of like expand on the idea of the first verse, which goes into usually the pre-chorus to set up the question, and then the chorus is the payoff. But not all the time. You know what? But mad respect to great songs that repeat the verse and the chorus, and there's like very little words in the song, and it still feels like a complete song. I think that's like, I don't want to say it's amazing songwriting, because there's definitely some songs that are a little bit more complex when it comes to how songs lyrics are put together. But I think there's something to be said about a songwriter that can be so not specific, but it can be so focused in on the meaning of the song, and you not feel like it's a short song, and you feel satisfied after you're done hearing it when the verses are the same. The verses are the same, and the pre-choruses, if they're there, they're the same. The choruses are there, the same. I think that's amazing. When people can get away with just like not a lot of words in a song. All right, back to this. Tune in these vocals. That one sounds good to me. So what I'm going to do is just highlight this track here, and I can right click on it, and I can go to commit. So what's going to happen now is, it's a little bit of explaining time. What's going to happen now, so whatever's on this track, all we have on right now is just Melodyne. So what it's going to do is kind of bounce down and re-import what's going on in this track. So when you go to commit tracks, I can just right click on it, or what you can do if you have a normal person mouse, you can hold control, click on the track, and that brings that window up. Hit commit. Make sure consolidate clips offline. We don't need to listen to it. And it'll just chew through the numbers. Chew, chew, chew. Chew, chew, chew. Unfortunately, it's going to chew through the entire track because the entire track's pretty long. Probably another button I can press in there to make that shorter, but whatevs. There's times like this where people at home are just like, do you even know how to use the program? It's like, enough to get paid. Okay, so we have this. So that's the little track there. This is the only time that I just get rid of that stuff that's there too. Now I'm going to do, so my naming conventions here, so this vocals lead 1.c to our comp. I'll say duplicate, and then I just get rid of the end there. .ct, so that's the comp and the tune version. Highlight that, cut it, paste it. So now our tuned vocals are here, and we can hold control and command and inactivate Melodyne there. We can also right click it, and that'll allow us to inactivate it and inactivate it. So this also, with this playlisting here, we can always go back in time if we want to add the cuss word back in, or if there's something else. If the band's like, hey, we really like the original untuned vocals better, can we put those back in? You can kind of like put a little dig in there, being like, hey, it might be better to have, like, that's probably not a dig, but like, hey, you know, I think it sounds a little bit better when it's tuned. But if they insist on it, you can always just go back in time and put the untuned vocal back in. Not that that's ever happened. Okay, track number 2 here. We're basically just into the choruses and the background vocals. So let's open up number 2 here. We should be able to rip through these pretty quick, as long as I don't get distracted. Now this one, on Melodyne on the window here, I can just click on it, Command A, and you can see these all get darker here, and that's just selecting all of them. If I go to our pitch correction tool here, and double click on one of these, this should snap these all to the grid. We'll see what happens. Sometimes it's going to sound like trash, sometimes it's going to be okay. Just going by ear. I love the keyboard stuff. That sounds fine to me. Go to the next one. I can buy that. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to commit those ones yet. I'll go to the next one because I want to hear how these are kind of adding up together. One thing we can do too is just pan those hard left and right so we can hear both of them a little bit easier, especially if one is half a step out. That's when it'll rub and you'll hear it right away. By that. Some funkiness going on here. We'll try to figure that out. Now that second yeah over here is a bit longer. So just shorten it. There's a little time tool here. What's it called? Time tool. Go figure. It's like I named this in a past life. So the time tool, you can just kind of, it's really easy to stretch and contract, or shorten, probably a better term for it, to stretch and shorten some of the notes. And I really do recommend going through and tightening some of that stuff up. That being said, there's programs or plugins like Vocaline, which can speed up that process for sure. But I try to do most of that stuff manually as I'm going by it. So when I hear it, and then if I need it to be tighter, then I'll use Vocaline on that as well. Don saying the keyboard player looks so young. I'm sure he's probably older than you look. So loving those sound like, yeah, no, the keys are pretty awesome. All right, those are sounding pretty good to me. I would normally listen through this again, but I have faith in my work. So I'm just going to highlight both of these tracks here. And I think it's Shift Option C. Yep. And can we do this? See, there's certain things I just never even think to even try. So, well, look at that. You learn something new every day. That's what I learned today. Because I usually just consolidate track and then I'm watching X-Files or Walking Dead or something. So these two tracks here, duplicate both of these. .ct, because they're the comp and the tuned. I'm going to refresh my browser over here that has Game Center on it. 0, 0. 0, 0 in the first. I like that. I'm just going to snip those two things there. Those two sections there. We can just use the grabber tool. And we can just move those up. And we'll get rid of those. So we're moving through these vocals here. So there's not very many vocals to tune. Oh, there's this stuff over here. I didn't even know what this was. We'll get there. We'll go visit that in a bit. So that's a holiday visit. Don saying they're playing the anthems now. Ah, I see. The anthems freak me out. My lovely wife loves the national anthems at sporting events and stuff like that, and it freaks me out. I'm probably I'm weird in lots of ways, but it's one of those things where like vocals, like live vocals, like freak me out sometimes. It's different if I'm on the stage, but there's like sometimes when I'm like listening to people sing the national anthem, because to me, like, to be on a stage with a band and everything, you have people around you. There's a lot of things that are going on, but for someone to like stand there and sing something by themselves, like I get really anxious, like to the point where even watching at home, what was it? Malcolm Subban, sang the national anthem at the Buffalo Sabres game last week. And like I heard a snip of that because they're showing it. I'm like, okay, that's pretty awesome. Had one of the goalies come out and do the anthem. I'm like, okay, that's cool. But you can like hear in his voice that he's nervous, and I can see in his hands. The hands are always the tell with people when people are nervous. People who are calm and like their hands don't shake. But it's like even people who seem like they have like all the confidence in what they're doing, it's just like the tell is always in the hands. It's just there's nothing they can do about that. But Malcolm did a awesome job of that. Anyways, back with the national anthem. I usually can't watch it. I just like go do the dishes or something. But okay, the next one's here. I don't even know what's down here. What's going on over here? Just need the second one. Okay, so we got some woo-woo-woos. So same thing, I'll just command all those and just snap those to the grid. Pro Tools is going to spin for a second. Okay, these are a bit shaky. So what we can use is the modulation tool. Pitch modulation tool, almost named that one too. If we just click and drag, you can see it kind of flattening the line. I'll buy that. There's a method to the madness. Just hold on a second. All right, we're gonna go to the second one. We flattened all of them, so. A little sharp. Okay, so we stomped on the modulation or not the inflections, the vibrato and all that. So we can go back to the pitch modulation tool and just put it back in. Because we just wanted to stomp on it a little bit so that we could get the notes out of it. And we'll just have a listen through that one again. There's not a ton here, so. I just hope the Leafs don't get blown out. I hope it's not like 6-0 or something. And then people on Facebook blame me. I can buy that. And we'll go to the next one. So we'll just pan this over to the left, pan the other one to the right. Someone's cooking. Someone's cooking dinner upstairs. Smells like beef stir fry. Smells delicious. I already ate dinner though. So I'm not, oh, there's the third one over here. That one works still. I already had dinner, so I'm not projecting there's dinner for one going on upstairs right now. I had leftovers, but it smells good. Next one, so I pan these hard left and right, so I can just kind of differentiate between the two. Sounding okay. Don's saying, I was looking back at my vids from last playoff game I was at, 2017. They won. Yeah, but I'm not there tonight. So, we're all there in spirit. We're all there in spirit. Hopefully, that $50 million they're paying like 4 players to show up tonight too. It's getting there. It's a little bit sharp. That could just get dragged in a bit longer. That's such a good drum fill. It's so good. All right, those they sound good to me. I was gonna say look good to me, but they sound good to me. So we'll just go ahead and consolidate. Actually, we're not. We'll do this. Do that first. And Shift Option C, and then the selection. We just learned that today. Been clowning around, consolidating the whole track or committing the whole track when I could just been committing sections of it, but it's fine. Things you learn with 6-minute tracks. Usually there's a lot more vocals in some of these tracks too. Okay, we'll just a little trim here. A little trim there. I just like being able to see the sections that all this stuff's happening on. And cause and duplicate. Rename those tracks. We name our tracks so that A, we know what they are, and B, so someone else knows what they are. Never ever assume you're going to finish something. And way to make sure that those stay where they're supposed to, if you hold Shift when you're dragging them up, it'll kind of keep them locked a little bit. Like you'll need to go a little bit off for them to actually move. So that's your hot tip. Hot Pro Tools tip on May 2nd, 2022. All right, there's one more down here. What's going on with these? Get rid of those. Turn those off. Hallelujah. Oh, there we go. We're getting to some harmonies here. Power Play Your Lightning. Who hired these refs? That's where I was noticing the most badness. There's definitely some notes that were rubbing in this section. So they were going for a harmony here. I don't think they stuck the landing on it, but the idea is there. Background vocals, yeah, we're still working on the harmonies that are here. Because they want to be up there. also maybe try... Maybe we'll just do that. It's not that it sounds weird, it's just not right. It's not in the key. I'm not the most musical person when it comes to music theory, and I've put lots of weird harmonies into music that I've worked on. But like, there's weird cool and there's weird wrong, and it's weird wrong to me. We'll just bring those down. It's still going to sound better, though. That's one of those things. Weird means not in the right key now. Yeah. Yeah. I can buy that for what is going on here today. Gonna commit those. I know there's some funky stuff going on in there, but for where this needs to sit in the track, and for what they were trying to do, and everything in life, we can just go ahead and do this, do that, and we'll just paste those up there. And I think we might be through our vocals. All right, tempo and score. It's good. I'm when it comes to sports, like I'm definitely someone who's not an emotional roller coaster / wreck when I'm watching games. Like the last minute or so of like close games, that's one thing, but there's always lots of time. And I'm saying that as a Leafs fan who's watched Boston claw their way back like 5-0 or something like that. So there's this outro section over here, which I missed. What's going on over here? What's happening here? All right, just a big, long held note here to stomp on. I don't know why they kept that take. All right. Whole bunch of hiss just showed up. One thing with the end of vocals, and it's not just with this, but just a lot of stuff. Vocal, I always refer to it as throwing the end or throwing the line. When the vocalists throw it up sharp or they throw it down flat. So if you're a vocalist, be mindful of, try not to rhyme, be mindful of that when you're singing, throwing the line down at the end or throwing it up sharp at the end, unless it's like your thing, 100% that is your style and something that you're going to die on that hill, then go ahead and do that. But a lot of singers, they don't think about some of those things. And while we're on that tip too, with drummers sometimes too, they do things not thinking it's going to come through, like ghost notes and stuff like that. Sometimes it works really well and can make for a very hot and spicy drum track with awesome ghost notes all over the place. But with some, it doesn't work very well. And I would say the one thing that gets away from drummers often is keeping your, if you're, guess this would be audience perspective on your end, but just the hi-hat going. If you don't have super strong time on your hi-hat when you're just stomping on it when you're playing, just don't do it when you're recording. You can always add that in after. You can always overdub your hi-hat in. Don't let anyone tell you anything different, because all you need is a little bit of hi-hat stomp when you're on the crash ride or ride cymbal or keeping time or something like that. But if you have not great time with your hi-hat, and be real with yourself about it, just don't play your stomp hi-hat when you're playing the song, when you're recording it, and overdub your hi-hat stomp stuff. And rant. And you're welcome. Okay, so we have our vocals tuned here. I need to just dump this one in here, so we're just gonna highlight that. I thought I had it, just the selection. I really thought I did. Just the selection. There we go. And let's grab that, paste that up there. We're already on our comp track, or our comped and tune track here, so that should be fine. All right, so vocals are in. It should sound better. Hopefully, don't sound worse. So we're just gonna hop in where our vocals start here.
Suck my kiss and sniff my all for you. Hear my words and close your mind.
I'm just gonna pan these a little bit without even listening, because why not? I had them fully left and right, but we'll just kind of bring them in a little bit. That sounded better to me. Don says, I'll try and be more specific for it. It's all good. It's all good.
Do your deeds of selfish love in Father's name. Read my mind and read my lies, it's just a game. I love Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus will save. Read my words and kill yourself, it's just a game.
Just curious.
Read my mind and read my lies, it's just a game. I love Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, we're just the same. Read my words and kill yourself.
Don says, I have major anxiety right now with the game. Another power play. What is going on? Who hired these refs? These are Gary Bettman refs, aka Gary Batman. Okay, so that sounded pretty good. What do I want to do here? It's about 8. I'm gonna hop out of the headphones for a few minutes. I was running over my laptop cable there. It's gonna hop out of the headphones. I want to kind of mess around with the 2-bus for a second, and then I'm gonna see about getting a vocal sound together. So just give me a few minutes. 2 sets of headphones here. All right, be right back. I never really used this crystal algae mixdown thing, but I've been messing around with it last time too. So Don says they kicked one of ours out of the game and what already? Who the why? Kyle Clifford boarding. Oh wow, that's okay. Not that it's okay that Kyle Clifford's gone, and Wayne Simmons is. Oh, that's poop. That was like not even long into the game. Unbelievable. Back to this. I don't use this CLA mixdown thing too often, but there's just a couple things about this I want to mess around with and try it on this track. So. Don says, I like that you're learning new things while messing around with things. Always, always, always the case. If you're not learning, you're not trying. Also, sometimes by externalizing some things, you figure things out. I'm thinking about putting a back bus on our drum master here. That's why I'm just duplicated that, and I'm going to mess around with this channel a little bit. So. Don, I saw your message. I was waiting for it to update over here. Good stuff. Jake Muzzin, unassisted. Who's this? Who's that guy? Almost got another one before the period ended, or period timed out. Great game so far. Good to know. Don't let anyone know that I'm watching it off to the side. In case you're wondering what I'm doing here, I put Decapitator on the entire guitar track. I'm not a big fan of the guitars. I think there's kind of like a cool retro distortion overdrive to them. But like I'm missing some of the fur, so sometimes you can just slap more distortion onto distortion. Don says, be right back. It's all good. I'm just going to bring up the preview track, like the reference track again, just for some of the vocal effects they had on it. Yeah, I'm muted. It might be some chorus on there, distortions on there. I'm liking what they were doing on their 2-bus. Like, it's pretty glued together, so I might chase a little bit of that. Still working on it. When you find a sound, it can just come together real quick. See, I'm fighting this one a little bit, but it's all good. I think I put maybe 4 or 5 hours into this so far, which is it's not crazy, especially with if you're mixing a record like a whole record like this. You might fight with one of the tracks or two of the tracks for a long time, get your sound, and then you can just start bringing that across the rest of your tracks you're working with. So be right back.
It's all for you. Suck my kiss and sniff my. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind to read God's eyes. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind to read God's eyes. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. So lies within your mind to read God's eyes. Suck my kiss and sniff my. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind. It's all for me. all for you. Hear my words and close your mind, it's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind, so read outside. Oh, oh. It's all for you. Hear my words and close your heart, it's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind, so read outside. Suck my kiss and sniff my, it's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind, it's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind, read outside. Suck my kiss and sniff my, it's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind, it's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind, to read outside. Suck my kiss and sniff my, it's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind, it's all for me. Suck my kiss and sniff my, it's all for you. Hear my words and close your mind, it's all for me. Sitting in your sofa, reading books about love and peace. Answer lies within your mind, to read outside.
Don's asking, how's it sounding to you, me? I think it's sounding better over here. There's things that I'm liking about. I'm gonna hop back in the headphones for a few minutes. What is going on here? Oh, replays. Okay, I saw some scoring and stuff. They're talking about video games, I think, in the ads. I think it's sounding better to me. I think I've got a better drum sound going. Like I think better overall sound, but a better drum sound. I think just distortion, having a little bit of a peak at the preview track again and listening to the vocals and kind of bringing that stuff in, it kind of like gave me that's what I'm looking for. Was the like a compass thing, like your bearings, to kind of get your bearings back. I feel like I have a better direction again after just having a peek at that again. So it's sounding good on my NS10s. I was doing a lot of work on the little USB speaker I have, and it's coming through. I'm still just balancing things, but I haven't moved anything and been like, oh, everything fell apart yet. There's still some kind of figuring out the EQ curve I want in the song. That's the thing too, because like I'm again, the cymbals are what they are. There's like, I'm missing some of the fur on the guitars. For some guitars, to me, it's like they never really blend with the drums well. It's like you're balancing them, but it doesn't feel like they're together. Sometimes you can glue them together with some effects or some reverb or something like that, but I'm having trouble with that. And then just kind of figuring out how bright do I want the actual keyboards. So. I like effects. Bass sounds good in the headphones. I think that's sounding okay overall. You may have noticed too with the lead vocals, because I have distortion on there or some saturation on there. Sometimes you can be crafty and just throw a gate on there and it might just clean it up a little bit more. Seemed to work okay. Gonna slap some effects on all those vocals just because it's fun today. It feels like a good day Monday. Put some effects on everything. I think this is sounding good. I think we can do this. Reference 02 May 2022 version 1. I think we're there. I can turn those toms down too, as much as I love them. A little bit tall right now. A little tall in the mix. I put that reverb on the guitar to see if it does anything for me. Those keys are screaming. I love that fill. It's so good. This could be dangerous, but I'm just going to go for it. Maybe everyone just needs chorus. Maybe that'll just make everything do the thing. Except for bass. Bass is sounding really good in the headphones. It's sounding pretty solid in the speakers as well. Sometimes with songs, you need to figure out what you can just rely on. And I feel like the bass is the most solid thing. So we're kind of leaning on that bass. Everyone else is playing their hearts out too, though. Feeling that. I'm liking the effects on the guitars now too. Into the psych out part. Excuse me. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. I know I said I'd go to 8:30. Think another little bit. Another 15. Started late today. I'm gonna hop out of the headphones, be right back. Sorry, I was trying to figure out my... Diesel's here. How's it going, Diesel? Be right back. Okay, there's a lot of things I'm liking better now. Curious to hear this on Thursday, say 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping things up for today. Deez, I hope you're doing well. Leafs are, I don't know if they're going back yet. Can't see the timer on there. But yeah, we tuned some vocals today. We did some rebalancing today, put a back bus on the drums, kind of, but I just kind of threw some more distortion at it. I was just having trouble getting the drums glued together. Is what it is sometimes. Kind of this experimental music here, kind of leading us out. What else did we do today? Worked on the 2 bus today. So Impact's kind of like a idea of SSL console bus there. And I've been messing around with this crystalline algae mix down thing. I don't know, sometimes I just scroll through presets. Again, my rules with this is no bringing in my templated stuff, but I can mess around with preset stuff. So sometimes I bring in things I never ever use just to kind of hear what it sounds like. So not minding that too much. Did a little bit of work on the EQ on the mix bus too. Added quite a bit of saturation using the J37 tape machine here. And a little bit of widening from center. And worked on the effects a little bit. Worked on the vocal sound quite a bit too. Just try to find that. So with fresh ears on Thursday, that's going to help quite a bit to kind of give us an idea if that's the road we want to go down. But overall, I'm liking a lot. For what it needs to do. I think effects are going to be our friend. I'm seeing Matthews in the chat. Did Matthews show up? 34 show up for the game today. I haven't seen an update on my end yet. I'm going to bring this the last couple things. I'm going to bring my effects that I have, because the effects on the guitars seem to glue it together a bit more. There's some either automation or some volume levels we need to change, especially when we get near the guitar solo over here. So that can be a next time thing too. I think another session or two, we can probably get this sounding pretty good. Hopefully I can get it where I can sign off on Thursday. If not, then a week from now, we should be good to go on this one. As far as how many kind of parts these are going to be, a mix can take, 6, 8, 10, 12 hours to kind of dial in. So the idea of we've been ripping through some of these in like 2 or 3 sessions, 3 to 5 hours is pretty quick. But this one we're fighting it a little bit, so that's okay. Sometimes you just need constant breaks and then come back and fight with it some more and then get angry at it, then go do something else. There we go, now I see it. I just wanted to hear that drum fill one more time just for me. I think we're good. I think we're good for today. So again, always back up your work. If it's not in two places, it doesn't exist at all. So Shift Command U, Shift Command B, just to get rid of any unused clips we do not need. And file, save copy in, all audio files. Okay, we're in, thought we were in our temp folder there. Just need to go to where we are. We were on that one, and here. And I just say capital B for a backup underscore, and then hit save on it. And then we are good. We are good. At least I think we're good. Don's saying, have a great night, Mike. Thanks for all the work you've done on this track. We appreciate it. It's all good. Thanks for recommending it, Don. It's a really cool track, and I like a challenge. I like a challenge in a track. So, and again, with the all the songs that are up on Cambridge Music Technology, multi-tracks up there for educational purposes and hopefully entertainment as well. It's good to have stuff to challenge you. Again, there's things about the cymbals I'm not a big fan of. There's a couple things about the guitars not a big fan of. But you know, you work through it, you try to find something that you think sounds good, because when you're mixing stuff, it has to sound good to you, because if you don't know how you got there, or you don't trust your ears, you're going to be way up the creek the entire time and not really knowing where you're going. So I like this kind of stuff, and I love kind of this kind of rock stuff. I think it's fun when people are just they're just giving her out there. So Don says sounds amazing. It's sounding better to me. Hopefully each time you open up these tracks, they sound a little bit better than last time. But getting over that mountain of prep, just getting the samples, like the triggers in. And the trick with drum triggers is you kind of don't want them to be poking in the eye the whole time. There's a couple spots with the kick drum I know I was hearing where there's not miss triggers, but there's just like I need some velocity adjustments on it, some volume changes on it. But I can get that next time. We'll listen through a bit closely, a bit closer to that. But yeah, all the performances are all fun on this too, which makes a huge difference. So, all right, I'm gonna head out now. I'm gonna not watch the Leafs game, because I know how Facebook feels about me when I watch the Leafs game and their record when I'm watching. But again, all these multi-tracks are up at Cambridge Music Technology. Links are down below if you're watching this replay on YouTube. What else did I want to mention? I'll be back here on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it's kind of flip-flopping between noon and 7 p.m., but excuse me, 7 p.m. is looking pretty good for next time. Again, the song we've been working on is called Dune Rider. The band is called Impossible Colors with a U. Big fan of this one. I'm curious. There's another song up there, I think, too. Might have to check that one out. And closer inspection and put it on the longer short list for songs I'll get to. Once again, my name is Mike Langford. Thanks for hanging out on Let's Mix Live, where we live stream some some full mix sessions in Pro Tools, showing you some production techniques to hopefully help you make your music production sound better. Lots of different ways to get there. Not here to show you what you should do, but what you could do. Thanks for tuning in tonight, or if you're watching the replay, thanks for checking it out. Talk to you later. Almost nailed the music.